Hello, welcome to Naresh Technologies. This is Sudhakar Sharma. We are continuing our ASP.NET MVC video sessions. In this session, today we are going to discuss about controllers. How do we create a controller? What is a controller? How the controllers are defined in MVC application? We will have a discussion on controllers. Let's see. Controller in MVC framework, it is the core component. Controller is the core MVC component, and it actually processes the requests with the help of views and models. In MVC framework, the interaction between the view and models is handled by controller. Actually, controller is a class that is responsible for handling communication from the user, overall application flow, and application specific logic. So, in MVC framework, controller is the core component. It is responsible for handling the overall communication in MVC framework. It is technically a collection of classes. These classes are responsible for handling interaction with user, handling the overall application flow, and application specific logic. Usually a controller contains collection of methods, we call them as action methods. We will discuss about action methods in later stage, right. So, controller is the MVC component handles communication. How do we define a controller? How we can configure controller for MVC application practically? We will see, because this concept already we discussed in our early video sessions where we learnt about architecture of MVC. If you missed those, you can go through the previous videos. You can watch the video of MVC architecture where we discussed detailedly about the role of controllers, models and views in MVC framework. Today for practical approach, so how to create controllers, we are just having an overview, right. So, one important point we have to know is controller is the core MVC component. It handles the overall application flow. It enables communication between model and view. It gets the data from view and submits to model. It accesses the data from model and updates to view. So, these are all the communications usually handled by controller. Actually, controller is a class. Controller is a class derived from controller base class that is defined under system.web.mvc. So, controller is a class derived from the controller base class, and it is derived from the library system.web.mvc. And very important is controller is a C# class with suffix controller. That means when we are designing a controller, we have to make sure that it is a class called any name you can give, some home, but it is mandatory that it should have the suffix controller. Every controller class must have the suffix controller, and it implements the controller base class. This is how a controller class is defined. So, in ASP.NET MVC, controller contains application specific logic. The overall communication between model and view is handled by controller. The reason why it has to have the suffix controller because whenever the client request comes to HTTP pipeline, the HTTP pipeline will use two types of handlers. One is an HTTP handler and an MVC handler. MVC handler can recognize the MVC controller request for and can invoke and access the controllers from the repository only when they are defined with the suffix controller. So, it is mandatory that every controller class in MVC must have the suffix controller. So, controller is the core MVC component for handling communication between user and model, and it is simply a C# class which handles the overall communication. But the basic rules about controller is every controller class must have the suffix controller and it should implement the controller base class defined in system web MVC. So, let us see how we can create a controller for our MVC application. So, we can create controller in two ways. We can create and add controller in two ways in our MVC project. One, we can create controller so with scaffold and without scaffold. Scaffold is a template process where generally the code is auto generated according to your requirements. So, you specify the requirements, automatically the code is wired up, the code is automatically generated for your requirements. So, you have some templates for controllers, you can use those templates to add a controller or you can manually add the controllers. So, let us see the two methods, how we can add the controller without scaffolding and with scaffolding. Without scaffolding is manually adding a controller with all the basic requirements configured explicitly. Scaffolding is nothing but implicitly it will wire up every attribute and it will define a controller. Let us see the two methods, how do we define with and without scaffolding. So, first we will see how do we create a controller and add to our application without scaffolding. Without scaffolding means manually you need to add a class, configure the class as a controller. Say, I am switching to Visual Studio and here I will go to the controllers folder. Yeah, let us see how do we create a controller so without scaffolding. So, first right click on controllers folder in the project and go to the option add and select add a class, and it is an ordinary C# class. We are giving the class name as home and it should have the suffix controller. Every controller should have the suffix controller and add. So, we added a class, our intention is to make it as a controller class. Then to define as a controller class, already it is having the suffix controller. Now, import the library. So, using system.web.mvc and you can inherit. So, this home controller should implement the controller base class. Now, this is a controller. So, we just created a controller, but what is the problem in creating a controller without scaffolding? Whatever the dependencies are required for controller, you have to manually configure them, manually configure the controller related dependencies. So, how we can configure the dependencies manually? For example, you can see we are adding a controller without scaffolding just as a C# class. When I go to the project here, you can observe controller is home controller.cs, and for every controller to define the user interface, a folder should be maintained in views. When I go to the views, you can see in views there is no folder for home controller. Usually a controller will map to the same name folder in the view and it can access the views from the folder. So, it is very important to maintain the same name folder for views of that particular controller. However, views can be maintained in two locations, one the local folder of controller, another one you can maintain in a special folder called shared. But if anything is defined in a shared folder, it is accessible to all controllers. If you want to maintain views for home controller in a separate location, then you have to add a folder in the views we need to add a folder, and the folder name should be the same controller name, that is just home. The controller class must have the suffix controller, but the controller folder name must be just the controller prefix, that is home. So, manually when you are adding controllers into the application without any scaffold templates, all the dependencies also you have to configure. Like you added a controller class, then maintain a folder for that controller in views, so that it can map to that folder and access the views from that folder. There can be another special folder called shared, but anything in shared folder is accessible to all controllers. To make it private, we have to maintain the same folder name. So, this is one method of adding a controller. What a controller contains we will discuss later, but here just we created one controller. Let us see how we can add a controller without scaffolding. This is done. With the scaffolding, how we can configure. See, with the scaffolding, to add a controller, so right click, add and select add controller. In the add controller, you can observe it says which scaffold template you want to use, and you can see there are several scaffold templates for controller. What is a scaffold template? A scaffold template provides options for you to choose. So, according to the chosen options, it will wire up the code automatically. Whatever the code is required, whatever the dependencies are required, all the dependencies are added automatically. So, what I am selecting here? I am selecting an empty MVC controller. We have controller with actions, we have controller with entity framework, we have API controllers, we have OData controllers. We will use them in various occasions. As of now, we need just an empty controller. So, select an empty controller and click on add. It will prompt you to define a name for controller. I will give the name for controller as about controller. Of course, the suffix for controller must be controller. Okay. Now, click on add. A new controller is added, and you can observe that it is scaffolding. Scaffolding means it is auto generating everything that is required along with all the dependencies that it needs. You can see a namespace has been imported into the class, that is system web MVC, and about controller is derived from the controller base class. Of course, it is having some actions inside it. We will clean up those actions because we will see later how do we define actions. Now, what is difference between a controller added with scaffold and without scaffold? You can observe that when we added through scaffolding, in the views you can see it maintains a special folder for it. This we have done manually in our previous stage, right. Without scaffolding, manually we have to add all the dependencies. With scaffolding, then it configures all the dependencies and defines them. So, adding a controller into an MVC application is just adding a class and configuring as a controller. And what this controller comprises of, we will discuss in the later stage. So, in this session, we discussed what is an MVC controller, how do we add controllers. Now, next session we will see about action methods and how do we configure them inside the controller. Thank you.